action figure review. Today I'm actually going to be reviewing some Marvel Universe figures, which is different. I don't usually get 3 3/4 Marvel figures too much anymore. But I found this at the comic book store, and I thought it was a pretty good deal not to pass up on. In a pack I've looked at getting at before, and is the X-Force 3-pack. I got it for $34.95 plus tax, around just under 40, probably around 38, which I think was more than fair for this packing, 3 figures. So that's pretty cool. We'll take a quick look at the packaging, and then we'll get the figures opened up and take a closer look at the figures outside the packaging. So here we have the packaging. You got some like explosive sort of background going on or something in the back, and you got the 3 figures, which is Deadpool, Wolverine, and Warpath. I think so. Yeah. You got the X-Force logo. You got Deadpool, Wolverine, Warpath, Shield logo. You got a pretty cool illustration of the 3 characters. Marvel Universe logo. Not too much going on up here. That same sort of image going on there. It's just really cool. X-Force on the side. Flipping around on the back, you got images of the figures. You've got Steve Rogers there. You got another one of the 3 packs, which is the Classic Avengers 3-pack. And you have a read up there which says, with mutants endangered and hunted across the globe, Cyclops made the decision to create X-Force, a mutant Black Ops team under the command of Wolverine. This silent squad of dangerous mutants performs the missions too dark or dirty for the X-Men. When a threat looms over the mutant race, X-Force takes care of it quickly and silently. So, pretty cool. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the packaging. If you're an in-box collector, I think this is actually pretty good packaging. It fully displays the figures, so if you're an in-box collector, I think this is really good. But I'm going to get them opened up, and I'll give you a close look at the figures outside. Now I got the figures out of the packaging, and this is definitely a cool set. Now, unfortunately, I can't claim to be the biggest X-Force fan. I don't know a whole lot about them. Pretty much I know just about what I read off the back of the packaging. But they're cool looks for the characters. I'm familiar with Deadpool and Wolverine, not so familiar on Warpath. But the figures do have their issues, and I will point those out, of course. But yeah, so you can see kind of the scale difference here. I'd say Deadpool is kind of the average height. Wolverine's much smaller than them, which makes sense. And then Warpath's a bit bigger. He's a lot bigger than Wolverine, but he's a bit bigger than Deadpool, which I'm thinking is right. So yeah, another thing to note is that Hasbro released this Wolverine and this Warpath again as single carded figures. With just a slightly different repaint, where the gray areas on their costume were instead a metallic silver. They never re-released the X-Force Deadpool, so as far as I know, this is the only way you can get the X-Force Deadpool. So yeah, so let's take a look at the figures each individually here. I'll move these Deadpool and Warpath out of the way. We'll take a look at Wolverine first. And it's a cool Wolverine figure. I really like the costume design. Or the colors and whatnot. I think it's cool. I really like the whole red eyes and black and gray with Wolverine. You gotta, if I can get it focused here. It's a really cool head sculpt. He's snarling. You got the teeth painted white there. You get the red eyes. Come on, focus. It looks pretty good. The black is glossy. And you've got a contrast between matte blacks and glossy blacks, which is really cool. And you got the sculpt of his musculature. One thing is kind of weird is on the skin tones. It's hard to see on camera, but they kind of added this on the skin tones, just like peachish sort of wash on them to bring out details, but in some cases, especially on the face, it can just come off as looking really weird, which is a minor gripe I have. The rest is cool. He's got black, glossy black gloves. You got the red X-Men kind of logo on his belt there. The legs look good. You got the gray on the outside and the black on the inside. It would have been nice if they painted the pegs here to match the gray, but it's not a huge deal. And he's got glossy black boots, which is pretty cool. And he has his claws here, which are just sculpted as one piece, but you have black paint in between them to kind of give the illusion of being separated. So those look really good. And he's a really cool looking figure. I won't deny that at all. terms of articulation, he's not too bad. He's a ball joint in the head, but you can only really get rotation out of it. Ball hinges at the shoulders move pretty good. Single ball hinges at the elbows move all right. They move just shy of 90 degrees, I'd say, maybe just about 90 degrees. Rotation at the glove. A ball joint in the waist, which crunches down pretty good. It doesn't really go back, but it also rotates, which is nice. He does have the Y joint sort of hips, which is a little unfortunate. They're kind of a pain in the ass to deal with, but you can get the right poses out of it if you fumble around with them a bit. He also has double hinges at the knees, and he has hinges at the ankles, but no rocker. It would have been nice to get a rocker, but for the most part, it's a really cool looking Wolverine. I really do like this figure. Put him right there. These guys are a little tough to stand because they don't have the rockers, but so that's Wolverine. We'll move on to Warpath next, who I'd say objectively is the best figure in this set. Not my favorite, but he's probably objectively the best. Sculpt's really cool. I'm not sure if this was a brand new figure when this set originally came out or not, so you can let me know if you do know. The head sculpt's really cool. He's got the mask on his eyes and the red eyes. Looks really sweet. The skin tone looks a bit better on Warpath than it does on Wolverine. They executed it a bit better on this figure. Got the long hair, which is somewhat pliable, so you can still get some articulation of it. He can look down and whatnot, so that's nice. You got the grays, and then the black. There's a little less sculpted detail into his costume, but that's okay. He has glossy black gloves. You got a belt, which is a separate piece, and on the back there's actually a sheath for one of his knives. Now, I don't know why he doesn't have two sheaths for both knives, but hey, it's not a huge deal. And you got the black and the gray on the pants here, or whatever, and then you got the glossy black boots. It looks pretty good. Relatively simplistic, the uniform, but it looks cool. In terms of articulation, he has a ball joint in the head, like I said. He can look down, can not really look up, just kind of look straight, and he can rotate, and you can get a bit of pivot. Ball hinges at the shoulders, single hinges at the elbows. Ball hinges at the shoulders, swivels the biceps, single hinge at the elbow, and rotation at the wrist. A diaphragm joint, so you can crunch, you can go back and rotate and do maybe a little bit of pivot. Ball hinges at the hips. He has the nice modern hip articulation, which is really nice. He's the only one of the set that have the modern hip articulation. So I think that alone makes him a bit more superior in this set. He has double hinges at the knees. No waist bicep though, not bicep, thigh swivel though, which kind of sucks. And then hinges at the ankles, but no rocker. And in terms of the accessories, he comes with two of these knives here. It wants to focus. There we go, which is really cool. They got some pretty big blades on them. They got the hand guards there, which kind of helps them hold on to them. The handles are black with silver paint for the blades, and you can just barely see, but there's just some little tiny serrated edges sculpted into the inside of the blade there, which is really cool. And he comes with two of those. One of them can be stored in his holster there if you want. So yeah, the only thing about them is that they're pretty soft plastic, so when you get out of the packaging, they're probably going to be a bit warped. I'm going to have to fix that, but yeah, Warpath is, again, another pretty good figure. Like I said, objectively, probably the best figure of the set. And last but not least, we have Deadpool, which, if I am correct, it is a repaint of a previously released Deadpool from the movie line of Wolverine Origin, X-Men Origins Wolverine movie line figures, I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know I'm pretty sure this is in the new figure. But it's cool. It's probably my favorite because Deadpool's one of my favorite characters. So, and I really like the X-Force colors on the Deadpool costume. The head sculpt's really good. I really like the head sculpt. He's kind of looking kind of angry there. It's cool. We got the red eyes in the black, and it definitely looks like there's a face under the mask, which is really cool. And you get the details of the mask, the little thing, tail thing. Come on. You got the little harness thing here. You got the red in the middle, and then silver for the harness. And you got the Deadpool logo on the belt, which looks really cool. Brown for the pouches with some silver painted buttons, which is really nice. Black sheaths, which can store his swords. And you got gloves there, and you got the gray and the black details going on. It's got some pouches sculpted on his thigh there. Some ankle, the guards there, and the boots. And it looks pretty good. The looking sculpt wise is pretty sweet. In terms of articulation, he has a ball joint in the head, but it's really tight, and you're not getting much up and down movement. It's pretty much just rotation going on there. Ball hinges at the shoulder move pretty good. Ball hinges at the elbows, which is where the rotation also is. Swivels at the wrists. A diaphragm joint, which is hindered a little bit by his harness here, and it just doesn't move very much. The Y joints on the hips, which mine are extremely loose, like they're swiveling around like nothing. Like it's hard to see, but they're just really, really loose, man. Like these are moving way too loose, so that's kind of unfortunate. I don't know if that's a common thing or not, but that really sucks. And he has double hinges at the knees and hinges at the ankles, but no rockers. In terms of accessories, he comes with 2 katanas, which are pretty simple. They got the brown handle, but the sculpting's there, and it looks nice and silver for the blade and metal parts. And you get 2 of them, and they can be stored in the sheaths. So that's pretty cool. I would have wished he would have came with some guns. I honestly doubt he gave up guns to be an X-Force. I'm sure he still used guns, so it would have been nice if he came with some guns. I mean, at the end of the day, I can probably find some extra guns lying around, but you shouldn't have to do that. So I think he should have came with some guns. Besides that, it's a really cool figure. It's probably my favorite of the, even though with the loose joints, it's probably the loose waist joints. Probably my favorite of the old set because he does look really good. I think, overall, it's a pretty solid set. If you're a fan of X-Force, you're a Marvel Universe collector, and you can get it for a good price, then I highly recommend picking this set up. You get some really cool X-Men sort of characters and this really sweet sort of paint decos, which are really cool. So yeah, if you're collecting the 3 3/4 inch or the 4-inch Marvel figures and you don't have the set yet, you find a good price, I highly recommend it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.